And it is episode 33 of The Check-In with Don Zanklin, Claudio Capri, me, Paul Ash, and of course, Mike Gamache. Everyone just sort of missed us talking about squeaking one out beforehand, but it got a good laugh. I love the fact that Claudio has his own smoke machine.
I know.
I'm not sure if he's like spreading Vaseline over the camera.
There we go. Oh, good Lord.
No, come on.
Kleenex, dude.
There we go.
Proper cloth. Just
there we go.
Lord.
Perfect. There we go.
Oh, all of a sudden you're in focus. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought blurry Claudio.
Hold on.
Claudio filming his own softcore porn.
Yes, definitely. You know, Jess Sorrell would not appreciate that. She likes to see your fine features.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
It's been a week. Yesterday we lost a comedy legend.
Oh my God, yeah.
So Norm Macdonald, Don. I imagine the Ottawa community is very,
particularly affected,
since that's where he came out of. I mean, he was born in Quebec, but he started comedy.
Definitely, he was from Ottawa.
Yeah, he. There's the story about the first time he ever tried stand-up comedy.
He's definitely an Ottawa guy.
Yeah. You mean the story where Howie Wagman chased him down the street to get him to come back? Is that the story?
Yeah, the very first time he did comedy, he thought he'd never do it again.
Yeah, that's the story.
Yeah. Howard must be devastated.
Yeah. There's something to the originality.
This is the second.
Yeah.
Albert,
Andrew Albert, and then Norm Macdonald. I these things come in threes. I don't want to know who's coming next.
Dibs. No.
No.
It's a very short time between each death.
Yeah. Ottawa always, to me, has always had a flavor of originality. If you take a look at the comedians who've come out of there that made it, I mean, there's Norm, there's Mike Macdonald, there's John Doerr. Even though he didn't really start with the stand-up scene, he actually did community television. Tom Green.
Yes.
Jeremy
Hotz. Yeah.
There's a lot of Alison Dorr. There's a lot of hyper original comedians that have come out of Ottawa, and that's because I believe that scene sort of fosters that level of originality.
Yeah.
So tribute to Norm
Well,
Macdonald.
I think Ottawa is so buttoned down. You
need a little bit of weirdness.
Yeah. Yeah, you need.
We need that weirdness to kind of let the pressure out.
Yeah,
that's true.
Sorry, I'm just getting some messages coming in.
Sorry, there's a problem with my connection.
Oh, so we'll be. We want you to be here. So if anything disconnects, we'll wait for you. Well, we won't wait for you to come back. We'll have you come back. We'll talk about you behind your back and
live.
Cool.
All kinds of typical comedian behavior. Welcome for those who are tuning in. This is the Check-In Show, which is basically it's four friends checking in with each other, make sure that everybody is okay. It was very important during the pandemic, and we're just kind of keeping it up. And if you want to just join the conversation, type in chat where you're watching from, and we can say hi. So I can see that there's people tuning in.
Great.
And yesterday, welcome. I got to talk to Ron James. I know Mike watched a bit of it.
Yeah, I watched about 20 minutes of it, and then my fence guy came by and to do my estimate. So
it was. There's no way I could connect with him without some little technical hiccup. It was entirely my fault that time. Well, it was. We had trouble getting him connected because he was using an iPhone, and the iPhone wouldn't allow him to use StreamYard unless he downloaded Chrome, but he didn't know how to make Chrome the go-to app for it. But we got it done, but I had uploaded it because he wanted a very specific intro, so I decided I'll pre-record it and I'll put it up. And then I as I was recording it, I did a couple false starts, and then I went and I edited it down. And then when I put the video into StreamYard so I could play it,
Right.
so it'd appear seamless, I left the false starts in.
Oh.
I uploaded the unedited version instead by accident, and so of course right at the beginning I'm looking like a complete putz.
Oh, never.
But we bonded over the fact that we grew up in areas fairly close to each other. He was really surprised to find out that I had been fishing on the Musquodoboit River, just like he was as a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us having fathers from Newfoundland, both of us having Nova Scotia mothers. His mother, though, was from Cape Breton.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then after that, everything was nice and calm. And he's got his new book coming out, which I might be doing a giveaway for subscribers to the
cool.
the They Talk Funny YouTube channel. So I'll just, if people want to find that, I'm just going to, there's the link tree for it. You look for the They Talk Funny YouTube, and you can subscribe to that. Once I hit 100 subscribers on that, I'll be doing a giveaway, and I'll see if I can be including Ron's book. Maybe it's just slightly flipped through by me. Yeah, he's a super delight to talk to, and I got to read some excerpts from the book as well. He sent me some primer stuff to ask him about.
Good. A true pro.
Yep.
Yeah, and Canadian treasure.
Oh, very much so. Which I actually mentioned on the show to Paul and to Ron. I said, the loss of Norm Macdonald reminds us of how we often don't appreciate our national treasures enough. We don't tell them while they're around. We sort of do tributes after they're gone. Let's try and do more of the, hey, patting ourselves on the back and high-fiving and way to go and you're great and positive feedback.
Exactly.
He has 9 comedy specials, which is a record. 9 1-hour comedy specials.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mostly on the CBC, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think all on the CBC.
Yeah, all on the
CBC. That's a record.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So, and we got to talk about his writing room a little bit. He mentioned Chris Finn who was somebody else. Actually, Chris Finn, I interviewed him for They Talk Funny, but it wasn't the first time I interviewed him. I interviewed him just before he went and got his writing job for Mad TV.
Oh,
cool.
He was, this is how long ago that was. He did the Halifax Comedy Festival, and I had a community radio station. And so he came to the station in the middle of the night, to chat with me. I think my show started at 1 or 2 a.m.
Wow.
And we spent hours and then playing music together and just chatting about comedy. And he also was the first person to swear. He was my first interview, so of course he's going to be the first one to swear. But he just the way his eyes, he just went. I asked him because I had known that, but prior to his big set that he was doing at the Halifax Comedy Festival, one of the directors came over and said, "Look, we've heard your CBC joke. We don't want you to do it."
So what did he do? He opened with that joke, I bet.
No, he didn't, because the thing is, he had to when you're doing televised galas, you've got to send up a typed written version.
Oh yeah, right.
You have to send in a clip, which was at that time was a little harder because YouTube wasn't a thing as much, and here it just kind of threw him off his game, and he was really kind of pissed. And so I asked him during the interview, I said, "Have you ever been censored?" And because I knew it was a little raw, and he says, it's such a fucking pain. And then he went, because he realized he's on a hot mic on a live radio show.
Right.
I just got.
So what happened? Were there punishments for swearing on live, or?
Were you fined or?
Well, one of the reasons there's a couple reasons I did the show that I did, which was it's community radio for one thing. I picked the time zone, the time that I did, which was I think it was 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. So I had a 6-hour radio show in the middle of the night. Because of the fact that I was going to be playing comedy albums, which Generally, as long as I was contextualizing the swearing or giving warnings that there
Right.
might be language, we
Right.
were allowed to do it.
Right.
Okay.
We had to keep to family standards, I think, between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. for the station. But after that,
All bets are off.
all bets are off. And
So
even
from
during
6
the day,
to 7, you couldn't swear. 6
yeah.
to 7 a.m. Like, okay,
Which-
this is the clean portion of the show.
Exactly. So I played a lot of comedy albums. I introduced people to Bill Hicks.
Oh, wow.
It was just so much. It was so wonderful.
Did you play Sam Kinison? Because he was felt.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I played. I even played Ron Schock. I played a bunch of the
My.
Texas Outlaws.
Wow.
It was through that radio station that I discovered Ben Elton and probably the best comedy album of all time.
Which is
It's called Motormouth.
Motormouth.
Ben Elton has been called out. I when I met Ben Elton, it was I have to say I was sort of hurt because he seemed to be everything that he used to rail against. Like he still was doing it. Like Ben Elton, for those of you who don't know, is probably more famous as a writer in North America because as a screenwriter because he wrote the Blackadder series as of the second series moving forward. Right, and he also created the Young Ones. He worked with Rick Mile a lot. That's the guy that did Bottom. He's written a lot. Then he started writing like East End stage plays. And he used to rail against the establishment, and by the time I met him, he was sort of like
He was the
establishment. which is
Funny how that works, huh?
Yeah.
such a shame. But the Motormouth album,
Right.
I mean, as much as some of the material might be problematic at this point because it was recorded in, say, the early 90s or late 80s, it was recorded in a pub in London. And there is only one edit point on the album.
Wow.
And that is where my ear could hear anyways. And that is where I had to flip the vinyl.
Oh, my.
And through the entire thing, you can hear the glasses like rattling at back. You can hear the bar service. At one point, some football fans come in singing "Ole Ole," and so he engages them and shuts them up. And he left that on the album. Right? You hear them chanting going by outside, and then you hear the door open and hear them coming in. So like a football game just ended, and he just or soccer game just ended, and he went and he dressed it. Incredible album.
Nice.
Just for the rawness of the comedy and everything, and just the fact that nothing fazed him. It was great. Hi, how's everybody? You good?
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
I feel like
Surviving.
I'm dominating the conversation, so please.
That's all right.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've been taking notes.
I heard the pen scratching. Along.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was really loud. I'm like, God damn, Don.
I have no problem with you taking notes and the volume that you were taking notes. It's perfectly fine. It was just
I'm
it was just
surprised.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm worried now if you can hear my fan
Okay,
in the background.
I've lost all of my audio.
Oh no,
We still hear
I
you.
can't hear any
We
of you.
still here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Nod. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try and figure out what's going on here.
All right.
Sorry.
So while Mike is figuring that out, Claudio, you've been very silent today. How
No,
has
I'm
your
just-
week been? I know that you've been doing a lot of shows. You did some of the Montreal Comedy Series shows.
Good. Yeah. No. I've been doing some of that, and now I'm just listening
Hello?
to what everyone's saying.
I
Hello,
can't
Mike.
hear you anymore.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try and get another set of earphones, maybe.
Okay.
Carry on. Just turn me off for now and carry on. I'll try and get back.
Okay. All right. I'll just remove him off. And
Yeah. That's perfect.
there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. No, nothing much. And tonight I have the nest, so I'm just today's my day off from work, so I'm just going to
Nice.
so I'm just working on some stuff for the nest tonight. How about you? How about you, Paul? I know you have vaudeville tonight. Are you excited about that?
I'm very excited for that. We sold out, but we were sold out by Saturday for it. It's actually, we have 3 burlesque performers plus a belly dance performer. We have 1 musician and 1 comedian. So it's normally we have 2 comedians, 2 musicians, and 2 burlesque performers. But this week it's like 4 dance oriented acts.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. How about you, Don?
Well, I'm rehearsing. There's a show, live comedy show in Ottawa, on the 25th on the Saturday. So I'm really excited because it's birthday weekend. So
Woo!
comedy has to, yeah, comedy has to be on a birthday weekend for sure. There's a storytelling show that I'm hosting. We're kicking off the new series for Untold. It's produced by Ottawa storytellers, and this season I have a host, so we alternate. So I don't have to host every month, which is a nice kind of break for me. Yeah, lots of rehearsing in my future.
Good.
I would love to come up for that at some point and drop some stories.
Yeah.
I'll ask you.
Wait,
To send me how to submit. And
Oh, I'd be happy to. We've actually moved online because of COVID. Hoping
okay.
we
So I
keep
don't even
hoping
have to make the trip.
to get into. Oh, exactly. I'll send you the details offline because we're always looking. And the fun part about being offline is we can hear from a lot more people. We had last season some tellers from Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
And this month we have a teller from India. So yeah, fantastic.
Nice.
Man. It's funny how I asked
Always looking.
Claudio, and Claudio just went and turned around and asked all of us to talk.
Yeah,
Not
no,
Don, but Don, you were the next person I was going to ask. So your birthday is coming up, and it's the
Oh, no
25th
worries.
of
I'm the
this
only
month.
other person here.
Yeah.
Oh no, birthday's the 27th. Battlecom Day. But the 25th is like the start. Well, technically it's birthday month. But I'm not greedy.
birthday month. God damn, Don.
Birthday month. Yeah.
Nice.
There
So
we
what do
go.
you?
Now, I'm not sure if Mike can hear us. Mike is getting ready. He just plugged in some different earphones.
Oh,
If he gives
nice.
me a thumb up, I can bring him back into the broadcast. I'm just wondering. Yeah. All right. So,
right,
Can you
Mike.
hear me?
yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yes.
I cannot hear you. I don't know what's
All right.
going on.
Oh.
Why
Maybe
Mike
the
should?
computer is.
Maybe I'll log out. I'll log out and I'll come back.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was about to suggest,
That
Mike.
sounds-
You read my mind, so your
That would've
audio
been,
isn't working, but your telepathy is fine.
At least he still has his telepathy.
Yeah, still has
man.
Yeah.
telepathy.
Uh,
Oh my. Yeah. So Claudia, what did you think of the Montreal comedy series?
it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But then we did that. We ended up doing.
When in doubt, log in, log out.
There we go.
Have
Yeah,
you
no.
tried turning it off and turning it on again?
That's a-
Yes.
did-
Have you
Sir, did
have you
you
tried
try
kicking it?
Sir, did you try throwing your phone into the wall 5 times? I know. So no, Paul was asking me about how the Montreal Festival was going. We were on an interesting show at McLean's. It was the
Mhm.
best/worst night I've ever seen in my life. Don,
All
if
right,
you
How can it be both?
okay,
Because these
no,
often occur.
I had hosted the Nest that night, and on the
Mhm.
way over there,
Uh-huh.
I managed to grab some of the people who were at that show who wanted to see more of me, and I brought them over there. Now I know the rule was show up, sign up. I had asked somebody who had gone ahead if they would sign me up, and
And-
apparently they couldn't or didn't or forgot.
Right.
Oh.
And so we got there late because I'm herding these cats of people. So I had 5 people show up who had to pay $50 to get in.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
oh, it was $10. Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was $10. No act got. I don't think I've been told no act was paid.
No.
Wow.
It started at 10:30. I didn't get on till after 1. So
Whoa.
No, you got on 110 to be exact.
1:10.
Jesus.
Yeah. And yeah,
And
no,
so
it was,
the people who were there to see me had left.
yeah.
Aw.
No, it was a fun.
I was a little pissed because they were a little pissed with me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, it was fun and brutal at the same time. But then I realized like those kind of shows you just go and just because nothing was well. There's only one
it was a shotgun show.
yeah.
Shotgun, like, as in, like go up, show up.
Here,
Well, you go up and then you introduce the next act.
Right.
Oh,
Which
So
is-
there's
which-
no host.
yeah,
No
which
host.
is fun, but it was
It can be fun,
way-
and they did have Peter Markov go up first and do a bunch of crowd work, but there was still a crowd when that happened.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So how is order kept? Like, how do you stop like one act from like taking way more time than they?
no.
they get the light, and if they ignore the
gives
light,
the light?
They,
The
The
producer?
The
Oh,
producer.
okay.
sorry.
Well,
I thought you asked who gets the light. Oh my god, the comics.
Oh no! I was just like, if there's no host, like
Sorry
how?
about that.
Like
Yeah,
how
no.
does? That's okay. I've never seen one. That
Somebody's
sounds
still running the
fascinating.
show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
no, they still get they get the light at 4 and then they get the finish at 5. But then it could be done. Like depends how it's done.
And the thing is too, like some of the acts that were going up, the only laughs were from the other comedians. There was George Asili. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Yeah, he's from Ottawa. He used to be my neighbor, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really? He very close to getting punched in the face
Whoa.
with the act he did.
Oh,
he walked up and the first thing he did, he called like the only older couple
I don't remember this.
in the front row. He walked up and he just called the woman a bitch right off the top. He was
Oh my
incredibly
God.
offensive the entire set.
What was
And-
I when?
shit.
Oh, I
have
remember I
no
was.
idea.
Oh, I was in the back just focusing on myself. Wow, I did not know. I did not notice this was happening.
I hadn't heard
and
anything about
after
that.
after he finished, that's when the remainder of the audience left.
Wow.
Everyone else was comics after that.
Oh my God!
So he
See, this is
actually
like one
killed
of
the
these
audience,
Examples where
Well, the audience was half dead.
well,
by
no,
that
it's just
point.
like you.
but he finished them off.
Yeah, but they're not going to
Basically.
stay.
Whoa.
Basically.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
it
when
was-
things
Come for
like
the
this,
comedy,
when
stay for
stories
the
like this,
abuse.
it reminds me of how Ottawa, things that play in necessarily translate to other markets.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
if he was doing it ironically, it did not come across.
No, but still, you still don't do that. Whether you're doing it or no, that reminds me because that night I did a spot at Le Tropical. It's by a guy named Big Will. Fun show, but a lot of comics were telling me so you're at a restaurant and there's no stage, and you just have to go around and getting people's attention. So I get there, I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm not gonna do well, but then ended up being 10 people in the restaurant. And then I got a bit cocky and I started off like, well, comics that were here we're saying that nobody listens to them. So but then the people were listening to me. I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't. But then the producer liked it. He goes, oh, you were good. So then I'm like, now I have McLean's at 9:30 or 10. Hello, Jess from Australia. And then and then I get
Comedy
to
handsome Claudio.
Yes.
Hi,
Comedy
Mike.
guys.
Mike gets a hi.
Hey, I
There
get
you
a
go.
high.
You just get a plain high. So then after I get to McLean's and I'm like, all right, well, that's this is good. So then I'm like, and then I see the show after the first act. I'm like, oh, so it's gonna be that type of night. And then the show was going on, and I'm like, oh crap. And then we were losing audience member by each act, and I'm like, oh crap. Oh god, and then I went on, and I'm like, okay, well, and then after that, another comic Vance Shell goes on. I'm like, you know what, this should have ended a while ago. It was tough. It was a tough night.
Wow.
It reminds me of a marathon from a certain producer we used to have.
But here's the thing though, that certain producer we knew.
Yeah, we knew what we were signing up for.
Yeah, but this one, in a way, I kind of knew, but at the same time, I'm like, no, it's gonna actually be good. And I get there, I'm like, because I think I even said it, I said the joke on stage. I'm like, it's like being on a Richard Mullins show. I said at one point, and everyone was dying of laughter. I'm like, okay, so now everyone wakes up, perfect.
Like I said, it was the comedians. So it's 12:24 a.m. Thursday morning here. Just saying hi to you guys. Going to sleep soon.
Sweet dreams, Jess. Sweet dreams,
Thanks for
Jess.
coming.
Yes. Thank you for letting us know
well,
that
Jess.
you're still tuning in. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Oh no, I'm just kidding.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I need to work out this time zone thing.
Hey, I just noticed Claudio doesn't have his pronouns. I think they should be, hey, you.
No, this. Hi. There we go. Hi. Oh man.
There we are.
Yeah. There we go. But no, that's it. It's but yeah, no, McLean's was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier in the night, I hosted at the Nest, and that was wonderful because we had a good sized audience, and yeah,
nice.
Oh, we got a
be good.
All right,
Jess, listen. Okay.
You know, the next time I get a chance to introduce you on stage, Claudio, that's how I'm going to introduce you. Comedy Handsome,
Mr. Comedy Handsome. is that? I don't know. Is Comedy Handsome? Is that one way to say funny looking?
I think so. I think it is. Yeah. I think so.
Paul, you always find that little twist.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Actually, that radio show I was talking about earlier, it was called A Face Made for Radio. So that was my early broadcasting.
Face Made for Radio.
Oh, that's a cool title.
It's a little hackneyed, but it's it's the old phrase. You've got a voice for silent movies, a face made for radio.
You got a voice for silent movies. That is a classic. Yeah. Oh my God! But
thankfully, I have this silken voice that I can drop at any point.
Oh yes, indeed. When you drop into the lower registers, everything smooths right out.
We're not all Keanu Reeves, so sorry. Oh my God!
We're not all what?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
You get it? The Matrix.
Keanu Reeves. Okay.
Yes. Keanu Reeves.
What?
Keanu Reeves.
Wow.
I really, because I really love a lot of his films.
I never noticed Keanu Reeves' voice.
He's very, very, very very much so I will now make a big speech. Hey, dude, yeah. You really should try that.
The weird thing is, the movies and where his character has no long-term memory or doesn't really think about the past so much.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that have he needs to have as neutral a personality as possible are the movies that he does the best in.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
John Wick is unbelievable.
Right?
He plays that so I don't think I could imagine any other actor in that role, because he just pulls it off so magnificently. It's just it's to a T. It's what the character absolutely, he inhabits the character totally.
Mm-hmm. But then there's also Bill and Ted, as well as The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Is the character is so confused for most all of the film. That's the entire.
Oh, he pulls off confused very well.
Then you get Johnny Mnemonic, where his character has no long-term memory. He had his long-term memory removed. So he doesn't have any of that foundation personality.
Yeah, but I find because I saw the latest Bill and Ted, I couldn't do it. I liked the first two, and then just the fact that that he was in this one, because I find at times like some actors grow out of their roles, and Keanu Reeves was just annoying in here. I don't know what it was. I just found him annoying.
Well, as soon as I saw that they okay, spoilers. Can I? This is
Go
for
ahead.
Bill and Ted's Last Adventure, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
As soon as I realized that they had daughters, I said, "Oh, okay, that's how they do it."
Yeah,
And I realized that the Bill and Ted were now
Theodora
superfluous.
and
they were not
Yeah.
they were not needed for the story.
Right.
No, they weren't.
They were the red herring for all of it. So
Yeah, exactly. It was annoying. It was annoying, but I'm like the only fun thing I've enjoyed that moment of the film is when they encountered Satan. That's it. And then everything else, I'm just like, this is annoying. I had to mute some parts actually, and then I'm like, ugh.
Okay,
Dude.
dude, I want to point out, Claudio, you are a projectionist at a theater.
Yes.
If you mute it, that means everybody in the room doesn't hear it.
It didn't come out in theaters.
Oh,
It went
did,
straight.
did not? Okay.
No, it went straight to video on demand. It was supposed to come out in theaters, but then in Canada they had some film company issue, so it went straight on video on demand. It was supposed to come on Netflix, but Netflix didn't buy it, so then it just went on
That's
video
a
on
sign.
demand.
They buy
That,
everything.
exactly. If Netflix or Amazon Prime does not take your film,
yeah.
you got issues.
Kind of a yeah.
You got issues.
I want to read this as Dawn. Check your Instagram after this live. I followed you on there, and I am 12 hours ahead, so I am in the future.
Wow. She is Bill and Ted.
She's the time traveler we need.
It's
What phone booth is being used?
Quick, Jessica, give me tomorrow's lottery numbers.
Awesome.
A quick. Actually, this is a question. What do you guys think about the Russo's brothers splitting with Marvel?
I'm curious on what's gonna happen. I'm curious.
Dawn,
Curious.
did you mishear or just
no.
not hear?
I think I'm hearing now. The Russo brothers splitting with Marvel.
Okay. 'Cause
Wow.
They
I guess
they
it was nice
directed
while it lasted. Marvel.
One of the reasons given
Sorry.
is because of their treatment of Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah.
Right? The Russos were in contract
okay, of
negotiations,
course.
and then
Yep.
they basically said, well, if we negotiate with you guys and then you guys just change your mind, what's the point of having the contract?
Well, then they divested themselves of Disney in general, then, right? Because
Yeah,
like that's
because it was Disney's decision to ignore Scarlett Johansson's contract.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
I
don't
can't blame them. No, I can't blame them either.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go to Marvel now? David S. Goyer. Sorry, I had to do that joke. That was a bad joke. For those of you who don't know, David S. Goyer is he co-wrote Blade Trinity with Wesley Snipes, and he co-wrote The Man of Steel, and yes, that's it, The Man of Steel, and a bunch of other Marvel films before it was Marvel Studios. He worked for Marvel Enterprise. Now he's on DC. And then a few years ago, he said, literally in an interview, F Marvel. So I'm like, ooh. And if they bring him back,
right?
He's not.
Well,
be
maybe
angry.
Albert Pune.
Yeah.
He directed a Captain America.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, the
yeah.
Captain America with the plexiglass shield and the
Yeah.
Italian Red Skull.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was brutally bad.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's so bad it was good.
No. It was
I haven't
so
seen that one in a long time.
Yeah, it was very much cringe factor.
I'm hearing myself.
Wasn't
Is
it
anybody else
J.D. Salinger's
hearing
grandson
myself?
played
Yeah, I think so. I think
Captain America? Like
I think so. All I can remember is that him riding on a motorcycle. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, and he was able. There was a slot in it for the shield. That's why it was plexiglass.
Yeah.
Because the shield was his windscreen on the motorcycle.
That's what happens when you spend $10 on a film budget, and all you have is that. I'm like, oh, that's sad.
I think that was Albert.
Did you hear
Pune. I
about? Was it there was one with a fire hose and was it Plastic Man? Like
Mr.
man, I need
Fantastic.
to go back.
This was the Roger
Yeah.
Corman, the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, the one that that the actors weren't told, but it was just basically to keep they made a film, they made a version of Fantastic Four, so they could keep the rights to the film, to the characters.
Oh,
And
okay.
the plan was to never release it.
Just can it and leave it be.
Right, and they went to Roger Corman, who of course did it under budget. But yeah, just the special effects were so cheesy, including like fire hoses for Mr. Fantastic's arms. And the other thing was because they weren't what's the word for it? They weren't they weren't promoting it, but the actors thought, oh, we're in this big Marvel movie.
Right.
Like this was before Marvel, whatever, but this big comic book superhero movie. So they bought tickets and to get their own way into to the San Diego Comic-Con. And they had approached the actors together approached the San Diego Comic-Con about doing a panel. And then they being advertised, hey, the actors in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie, and the producer of the film and Marvel kind of got together and said, no, quash that. We're not releasing this film.
No.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like, after
Wow.
they thought that this was going to be a big career boost for the
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you don't want that on your CV. You don't want that on your credit list.
You definitely don't.
No. I was in a movie that was never released because it was so shit.
I know. Hey, weren't you that Fantastic for? Oh, it's like it's like Uwe Boll working on a Marvel film. I'm like, oh God, no, please, not Uwe Boll, not him. But oh man. But yeah, no, I'm curious what the Russo brothers are going to be doing next. Yeah, I'm curious what they're going to be doing.
I really hope that they get to do like one of my favorite comic book characters that they bought the rights to, which is not a Marvel character, which is Grimjack, and it was First Comics and then Comico. It was with the two labels that it was published under, and I think IDW picked it up and did a bunch of re-releases as well. Incredible character, very much ahead of its time when it comes to because basically the character had PTSD. They didn't call it that. But
Right.
he was a veteran of what the Demon Wars. It was sci-fi, but not sci-fi. There was a city that was built at the nexus of all dimensions. So every dimension will eventually touch it. So you go from neighborhood to neighborhood, the laws of physics would change slightly. You know, the atmosphere. You know, one it's gas, the next one it could be methane, but it's also. Here, science kind of rules. There, science is iffy, but magic works.
Oh.
And so this guy played a mercenary / bounty hunter / private eye. So it was very film noirish kind of comic book. He was a veteran of what was called the Demon Wars, when basically hell brushed against the city and tried to invade. And
As hell would, really.
Yeah, as hell would. And so he has a very tragic backstory, and he'd be taken by boats of the darkness, which is basically PTSD. They did a really good representation of that, and this is 1980s comic books.
Wow.
And
Yeah, that was ahead of its time. Definitely ahead of its time.
It had, I mean, there's some problematic characters that would need to be updated. It was written by John Ostrander with art by Timothy Truman, or vice versa. They also did another independent comic called Scout, which was a post-apocalyptic one with a Native American riding a motorcycle through sort of in a Mad Max type world. That also included mechs. But they sort of really became famous for their work together on Hawk World, where they basically redefined the Hawkman character, and was award-winning miniseries that they did together. So, John Ostrander, Timothy Truman, fantastic creators, and the Russo brothers bought the character. A little bit of a spoiler thing. I don't know if for this comic book that came out in the 80s, he also he died, but when he found out his friends were in trouble, he left heaven, so he's not welcome back in heaven. And because of how he fought during the Demon Wars, hell doesn't want him.
Don't want him either. So he's sort of like in a he's just stuck where he is, basically.
He keeps on being
Jumping.
reincarnated.
Jumping from place to place. Yeah.
And
Cool.
they touch on it a little bit, but they also, like, he changed species, he changed his gender. In the series, there was mainly only like two main characters that they focus on in the comic book series, but he does appear as others as well. And it's also being able to legally take back his property and such. And the first reincarnation that he does, everyone thinks he's schizophrenic. Right, because he's got two personalities. He's got this. He has these other memories, which no one should have other memories. And so the way they treat it, like
that would be quite a challenge to bring to the screen. I mean, it would certainly give a lot of different actors and different takes on characters.
It's kind of like how Doctor Who does his reincarnation.
Right.
But this one here, it's like as long as the city exists, he'll exist, sort of thing. And the backstory, like, there's so much backstory to it all. It's incredibly well written, comic book series, Grimjack. You can go out and pick it up in trade paperbacks. The back issues you can still find actually fairly cheaply, which I've been very happy for, because I've been able to pick them up. And also, there's crossovers with so many other comics at that time. There's one episode, because he owns a bar on top of that, because it's film noir, so they want to go Casablanca. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show up at his bar with April O'Neil. That's because one of the dimensions it'll touch is ours, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. So
wow.
I've been talking too much.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Not at all. Not at all. Your take on things is very very on point.
What point? Do I have a point?
I think you had a point somewhere there, Paul. Paul, you had a point, and you made it succinctly. So, kudos, bravo.
Exactly.
But yeah, I like what the Russo brothers have done. How they're able to bring stuff. I mean, they're not as challenging as, say, other directors who are really interesting. I mean, Claudio, director of The Fountain. He also directed Pi. Black Swan.
Darren
Aronofsky.
Yeah.
He is a very challenging director. Like, to watch his stuff is to sort of be challenging yourself.
Yeah. Just hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. I mentioned Darren Aronofsky, and that made Claudio run from the room.
I know. Jeez. That's the secret word. That's the.
I think I need to write this down too.
But I mean, Darren Aronofsky, it's not something you can throw on Netflix and leave in the background.
Right.
You need to pay attention to his films. So he is. His first student film, Pi, he contacted Trent Reznor to do the soundtrack for, and Trent Reznor. By the way, Trent Reznor is somebody who deserves a lot of respect. But Trent Reznor says, "Look, I'm taking time with my family right now. I can't really, put the effort into scoring a film. But a friend of mine just got dumped from his band, and he's staying on my couch. Why don't you? I'll put you in contact with him, and he'll probably be able to do it." And that guy has scored all of Aronofsky's films since, and his name is Clint Mansell. And he did Black Swan. I think he was nominated for a few awards. He didn't get original score he didn't get nominated for original score, which a lot of people felt was a slight. But that's because Black Swan was using the music from the Nutcracker.
Yes, of course.
Or Swan Lake.
No,
sorry.
Swan Lake.
Swan
yeah.
Lake.
Yeah.
But
Tchaikovsky.
his arrangements of it were very original and
Right.
very good. And he used to be like Trent Reznor's Nine Inch Nails. So that Clint Mansell's old band was called Pop Will Eat Itself, which is a band that every album evolved, and then when he was out of the band became like this electronic jazz band, which was also great, called Bentley Rhythm Ace.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Pop Will Eat Itself's first album sounded like the Ramones, and then they had industrial albums, they had dance albums, they just
Wow, that is an evolution.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Claudio's back. We have to stop talking about Claudio. He's back now. So
Just thought I'd mention, Don, when you write something down, it's very close to your microphone. We can actually hear you scroll.
Yeah, I heard that from the other two guys. It's weird. Can you hear it now? I lowered the volume. Can you hear this?
Yeah, that's
so strange.
I think it's because it's on the desk. Do you have your mic is mounted on your desk too?
Yes,
right?
probably.
Yeah, it's kind of built into this headset because I unplugged my my
okay,
boom.
you're not using that one. Okay.
Yeah, but
So
can you
it's
hear
not
it
the one.
now?
No.
No? Oh, okay, because I had it on top of my closed laptop plugged into my monitor. Okay.
Okay.
I was so surprised. Now, mystery solved.
Mystery solved.
Yeah.
All right. So Claudio, are you okay? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Don, okay, happy. This is the birthday month. So
Yes.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you've got on the 25th you have your the storytelling show.
Oh no, 26th storytelling and 25th live comedy.
Oh, okay. 25th live comedy.
Yay.
26th. I'm gonna throw up some links here so people know. First off, it was Claudio. If anyone wants to check out Claudio, it's Claudio Capri Comedy on Instagram, which I think he really should change to Mr.
Comedy Hansen.
Comedy
Hansen.
Comedy
Comedy
Hansen
Hansen Claudio.
All right. Then Don, to find out more about Don, it's at Don Zanklin Comedy on Instagram. And then we also have Mike. Mike, if you want to find out what Mike is doing,
not on Instagram. You just look me up on Facebook.
Find him. Just walk up to him on the street and
and punch him.
Poke him. Don't physically touch him without permission. And then there's me, and all the shows I do. Just depending on your like is right there with the link tree. We have an incredible lineup for the next BattleCom, which is going to be the 27th, which is Dawn's birthday, which I wish I would have had Dawn on it.
Yeah, it would have been fun, but I was just like, I'm going to eat stuff in a restaurant.
I don't know if anyone has seen the TikToks by Zeus Fleming. Zeus Fleming is actually going to be on. He also does the Rat G podcast, which talks about comic books.
Right.
And he's a radio personality in Toronto, so he's going to be on. Going to be on BattleCom this one, and we also. Let me just make sure I have all the names right just beforehand. So yeah, Barry Carter is going to be returning. Scotty Mars, who does does radio out in Halifax, he's going to be on the show, and joining us from New York for the first time, it's going to be James DeSalvo. So we got two first timers on it, but both of them are very experienced performers, and I think they both have a passion for the nerdy stuff. So
Nice.
And they're also really good at getting me all their information quickly, which is nice.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Bonus. Yeah.
Bonus, definitely bonus. Did anyone have anything else they want to mention before we wrap up for the day?
No,
I'm up to my ears in home renovation. It's going to be that way for the next couple of months, but I'm going to be doing the show anyways, and when I can. So that's about the size of it from me.
Well, we want to check in with you to make sure that you're okay as well, Claudio.
no, same thing every day.
Same shit pile, new date. All right,
Exactly.
Don. You just okay. So we done. Do you have anything? I know that we mentioned your shows, but you're feeling okay. You're feeling positive with the future
Yeah, it
right
was a
now?
bit of a weird 24 hours, COVID at my kid's school. But
Ooh,
yeah, I know.
yeah.
But
Wow.
communication is fundamental, is it
Mm,
turns out, is not always the case everywhere. But it's all
yeah.
good so far, so good. We haven't heard any more disaster stories.
Good.
All right.
And
Good.
my
Good.
son's class is not affected.
Okay.
How young can people get vaccinated right now?
11 at the end of this calendar year. So everybody
Yes.
younger than that is,
Still very
still at
vulnerable.
risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
So,
it has there are studies that show that children are less at risk, but they can easily be carrying it home to family members.
True.
oh,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's some cases where, when they do get it, it hits them really,
It's
really hard.
very bad. Yeah.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just a bit of a stressful time because the numbers always go up when school is in session.
Yeah.
Yep, it's one of the greatest vectors right now for COVID transmission.
Indeed.
Well,
So,
every time flu season comes around, it's always usually generated by return to school and Christmas holidays and spring breaks. That's when the big outbreaks are.
yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah, totally.
anytime that, you get,
That's it. We should get rid of children. Children are a huge vector. They have to, they go from embryo to mid-teens. Let's
Oh
get
yeah,
rid
put
of
okay.
them
that.
in
And if you ever
bubbles
deal with
until they're,
mid-teens, though, you'll
they're cooked.
understand that maybe we should get rid of them too. That was my angry old man, Claudio, who is our mid-teen of
Yes.
this show. We'll keep you around, Claudio.
Perfect. Perfect.
Babyface Claudio, we like to call him.
Well, I want to thank you all for checking in with
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
So
And everyone who tuned in, thank you very much.
Yeah.
take care.